Welcome to Bourbon Taste-Offs, playoff brackets of the best whiskeys. Join us in our season-long quest to find our tastiest bourbon. Hello, and thank you for joining us on Bourbon Taste-Offs. We are your hosts, Todd, Dan, and Josh. On today's episode, which is episode 6, we have Josh's picks. So Josh, what can you tell us about your picks today?
Yeah, I'm super excited. I actually just went in my cabinets and I pulled out 4 or 5 bottles that have all been gifted to me, so by various people throughout the years, and a couple of which 3 of which I've never even opened.
Okay.
So more of less of my picks and more of my friends' picks for me. So yeah, there's one from Hawaii, one from Oregon, one from Texas if that one comes up, and then 2 from Kentucky.
Oh, sweet.
So kind of all over the U.S. as well.
The ones that you've tried, did you like them?
One of them I didn't like.
Okay. So we might be in for a treat with the one that you didn't like.
And then, and then the rest, and we'll see. So there's 2 single barrels in there. And I hope we can get the Hawaii one because I'm really curious because my best friend just picked it up like 2 weeks ago. So
nice.
Yeah.
And it's distilled, bottled, all in Hawaii?
No clue. I guess
Okay.
we'll have to read the bottle.
Okay.
Great question, Dan.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, let's get tasting. I'm curious to see what Josh brought and how they stack up against each other.
3. So 1 versus 3?
1 versus 3. And we have the numbers on the side of the glass now, so we don't have to lift up the glasses up to the ceiling and crank our neck to see.
Cheers, boys.
Yeah, absolutely. Still getting mine in order.
Hang on. Me too.
That's like when you give a high five and you left it hanging. It's like, hey, I'm here.
Dan,
Come on.
That smells good, Josh.
Did we compare the color of these two? I think 1 is a little darker than 3. So that might indicate a little more aging, a little more time in the barrel. I'm getting some citrus, some fruit.
The problem with knowing that there's a Hawaiian one in here, you're like, citrus fruit. Is this from Hawaii? Should I be wearing my luau skirt?
So you don't even know how long it's been.
No.
The age statement on it.
Yeah, no clue.
Okay.
My friend is a huge bourbon guy, and he's generally pretty good at picking out local picks. So.
Well, I got a riddle for you guys.
Riddle me, Batman.
So is it legal to bury a man that lives on the east of the Mississippi to bury him on the west of the Mississippi?
I feel like the riddle has nothing to do with the Mississippi. I feel like it has that's a diversion.
Did you say that one more time?
So is it legal to bury a man who lives east of the Mississippi on the west side of the Mississippi?
Well, no, it's not legal. He's still alive.
Way to go. You did it. You figured out the riddle. Yes, it's illegal to bury someone that's still alive.
Yeah.
I figured that's where I was going.
Well, I like it. What do you guys think?
Yeah. So far, I really like that, Josh. I would drink this. I mean, I think it's really good. It's it has everything I like in a bourbon. It has a great nose, the front end, the back end. It's not a little hug, but not too much hug. I think it's really good. I mean, I normally don't like to express myself, but this is really good.
Have you moved on to 3 yet? Have you tried 3?
No, I actually just wanted to pause the podcast and then go grab more of this. So I can just
Right.
keep drinking it.
That's a pretty good bourbon. I like that.
What do you think, Todd?
Yeah, I do like it as well. I tasted 3 also now because I'm trying to get get a comparison.
Ooh, a totally different nose, though.
It is. Yeah. I tasted 3, and 3 has more corn note to it. And I don't know if maybe it hasn't been aged as long. To me, it's just given more of a distillate taste.
It's definitely not as complex.
Right.
It doesn't have a back end like one had. It's kind of just a one note for me. The nose is definitely not as good. Got that kind of alcohol.
Yes.
We get that kind of...
Ethanol.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. No, I agree.
Well, this is a pretty easy pick for me. I would not drink 3, but 1 was much better. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty easily a 1 here on this one. I didn't dislike 3 like some of the, if you remember some episodes in the past with that single malt, and I was like, ooh.
I'm getting a little bit of rye. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No.
Getting a little bit of rye on 1. To me,
Did you go back to it?
I did go back to it.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just going from that to that. It just stands out more to me.
Yeah. Clearly 1 is, if I'm going to drink 2 of them, I want to drink 1. But 3's not bad.
Yeah.
But 3's not bad.
How about you, Josh? What's your opinion of the matchup between 1 and 3?
Definitely tastes different going from 3 back to 1.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, for me, 1 for sure, but I really do like 3 as well. I think it's a different flavor, different taste. But yeah, for all the same reasons that Dan articulated before, I really like 1.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So our first matchup, we have a winner. It is bottle 1. Wow, we're moving along on this one, huh? Moving right along.
You know what you like.
Yeah. So have you guys ever heard the theory of whiskey or bourbon aging after it's been open? So say after the cork's been open, you get some, air in there. You take a little bit of the level down, and since the air is now trapped in there, or maybe evaporation out of the cork, have you heard anything about like a whiskey getting worse as it ages?
I've never heard it worse. Some of the podcasts I listen to, so not only do we do one here, but I watch some, kind of cool, is a lot of times they'll open them up a day in advance just to let some air into them.
Oh.
Yeah. They'll open it just so it has a chance to breathe and let some stuff out. But I don't know how that affects it. I don't have any personal experience with that.
Right. And maybe it does have something to do with letting air get to it, like you said. I mean,
Is that the case with wine?
It is the case with wine, yeah. They have, I forget what they're called, but you put it on the bottle, and as it pours, it allows air to cycle in there.
Sure.
Well, I think even with wine, they have. My buddy's a big wine person. They have windows of when that wine is perfect. Like it will be bottled, and then they'll wait like 10 years, and it's like perfect, 2035 through 2040 or something to that effect. But yeah, I don't know much about whiskey. I thought there wasn't really much of a window. It's pretty close, but won't change a ton.
Okay.
I do too, huh?
Yeah. And I just thought of the word, it's an aerator.
Gotcha.
So it aerates the pour. I really like the nose on this one. It's just warm and earthy to me.
Not too warm, right? You say warm, you're like warm, not hot, right?
Right. Yeah. No, I was just going off the nose.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't even taste it yet. I'm going to go on a limb and say, I'm just going to guess the proof on this one. I'm just going to guess 100. It's just a guess.
Yeah, it's definitely not 110.
No.
Or yeah.
Did you bring any? Did you happen to look at what the range of proofs were on your?
I believe there's one bottle of on, so
That would be
That'd be
100,
100.
100 proof then.
I think that would be the highest.
Okay. 4 reminds me of 3 a lot. Not getting a ton of wood note. I guess if there is a difference in color between 2 and 4, I would say 2. 2 is darker. Any thoughts?
These are both pretty mild
They are.
bourbons. And these are all bourbons, correct? There's no single malt whiskeys or...
I don't know if the Hawaiian one is a bourbon or not. I forget.
Okay.
Okay.
These are both very mild. Not a lot of complexity to either one of them. Very drinkable. I'm having a hard time actually distinguishing between the two of them.
I think 2 seems to have a little bit more to it. To me.
I agree. I'm more of a fan of 2, which, yeah, if we're gonna go pick between them, I would pick 2 myself. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see the bottles when we bring them out and actually read what they're about. Because after we're tasting them, obviously the viewers and listeners have no idea what we're tasting, but we can maybe explain a little bit more of what we're experiencing once we're reading the bottles.
4 has a unique taste to it. 4's got something that's different. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on what 4's got going on. It's not bad.
No.
There's not a bourbon here that I've had today so far that I don't like that I wouldn't drink. But I think I'm a 2 guy here also, as far as between the two of them. 3 or 4, I should say, 2 and 4, has something more going on, but I'm not sure how pleasing it is to my palate.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. It's not bad. It's just something different.
That's when I drink 2. Not I don't know if this is the right way to describe it, but like caramel a little bit. But then when I went back to 4, then I'm like, I don't know if it's the residuals from 2.
Right.
But I'm like, oh, maybe there is something a little bit extra here. So it's
Yeah.
kinda tough right now.
Yeah, I'm picking up definitely more sweet from 2 than 4. Even though I'm reminded a lot of corn with the fourth.
That could be what it is that I'm
Yeah.
picking up on and you're dropping down.
All right, well, we're going to take a little break and go bring out the bottles of 3 and 4 because those are the ones that are not moving on, correct?
So you guys were all a 2 also?
Yeah, I was.
Oh no, I'm just messing with you. Yeah, I think our final is going to be very interesting.
1 versus 2, right?
All right, so we're back with the bottles. It looks like bottle number 3, which lost to bottle 1, is... Go ahead and Josh, if you want to read.
So we have a new Riff single barrel on number 3. It was bottled in, distilled in 2017, bottled in 2021, 101.2 proof. Kentucky straight whiskey.
All right, so that is a little higher proof. It's a 101, and it sounds like it was a 4-year.
Yeah, about a 4-year. Yep.
Okay, so I'm surprised it's not darker in the glass then. Just it's a little lighter in the glass. But yeah, new Riff typically that wins a lot of taste offs. You know.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that product, and I'll be curious to see. So that lost to 1.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Huh. Well, makes me
That's
wonder.
interesting.
Let me try my number 3 again.
I know.
I think we said we liked it, right? Yeah, that's a really good bourbon. I'll be interested to see what the 1 is.
Yeah, I think we said really none of them were bad.
Right.
It was just kind of just a little bit of different.
And then what was 4, Josh? if
All
you don't
right.
mind?
So this is from Hawaii, distilled from Hawaiian corn and North American grains. So Kapai bourbon whiskey. Micro aged for no less than 6 months in charred new American oak. Made from our Hawaii grown corn and the finest rye and barley grains, the American bourbon painstakingly handcrafted to perfection, twice distilled and micro aged. The result of handcrafted bourbon yields delicate, smooth, full flavored spirit that is best enjoyed with one of our cigars, of course. From our Hawaii farms and Washington distillery, so maybe Washington.
So it's a little bit of sourced.
Yeah, we hope that you find this. So, distilled and bottled by Kauai Distilling Company, Spokane, Washington. Very interesting.
That is. So micro aging, what is that? You think? Do you think it's? I've heard of people putting like charred just wood, like oak chunks,
Staves and stuff
staves,
like that.
and
Sure.
and even just like little squares of wood to age. So there's just more surface area that the alcohol is touching on the wood. And I think people are trying to get away from having to age things for so long so that they can just get the product out there and just start cashing in on that, you know.
Yeah, the only other thing that I think of, Old Forester is well known for this because they keep their distilling houses warm year round. So they'll actually, that's why they have none of their bottles say like 4 years or 10 years. It all says like 1897, 1910. And that's because their distilling process is actually shortened. So they can get a 4 year in 2 years because it's warm and that barrel is sweating year round. Compared to down in Kentucky, it's sweating for half the year and then it goes dormant because it's winter down there. So that's the only other thing
That's interesting.
that's the
I
only
never
thing
knew that about Old Forester.
Right, that's why they don't have like a 10-year
Sure.
or a 4-year, or it's all about, bottle numbers, or I mean 8 years. So
Now the new Old Forester 1924 though, isn't that an aged statement?
I think that's a 10-year.
A 10-year, okay. So maybe they're trying to get away from not having age stated and trying to get a couple out there at least that are age stated. So that's interesting.
they're
I-
both good. I think
Yeah.
we liked both of them.
Yeah. So, all right, let's move on and match 1 versus 2. I get to go back to 1. I can't believe that beat a new riff.
Mm-hmm. It's got a really good nose.
I think one of the things that made it beat the new riff is just it seems complex. There's a lot of complexity to it. And typically, when people talk about complexity, it's layers of whether it's sweet and then maybe finishes with a little bit of a spice, the pepper, and so you're getting that sweet and spicy at the same time. So there's just different levels and layers of it.
Yeah, for me, I generally like more complex because I'll drink my bourbon with ice. So I like drinking it and just slowly doing it and just how it changes over time, adding just a little water, that ice dissolving.
No, when I first got into bourbons, everything was on the rocks because I love how things change. You start drinking it, and then the ice kind of starts to melt, and it changes the complexity and the taste of the bourbon. And I just love that progress, that progression through that. And now recently, I just drink everything neat.
It's because you're a neat guy.
Yeah. Must be why. But you, Dan, have you had like a transitional like how you taste and drink bourbon through?
No. I just tend to try it neat, and most times it'll be neat. If it comes across a little too hot to me, I'll get up, grab an ice cube, and then let it play out as is. I have had a couple bottles that I'll keep in the freezer because I like them cool.
Oh, interesting.
So I'll keep them in the freezer so I'm not watering them down. Eagle Rare, I like its flavor just as it is, but I like it cool, so I'll keep a bottle of that in the freezer.
That's awesome.
That
So,
is.
yeah. So I do it that way, without watering the product down at all.
I never even thought to do that because I know they sell those whiskey stones. So the whole idea is to have
keep it
cold
cool. Right.
stones and they don't water down.
Right. So there's a couple like that I keep that I like cool, but I don't want it watered. But not many, 3 or 4.
Okay.
In the freezer.
I even like my wine cold, which is a little weird. So
White wine for sure.
even red wine.
Oh,
I'm
do
just
it.
like,
Okay.
Yeah, if it's too warm, I put an ice cube in. people are like, you're crazy.
Yeah, I kind of like the red wine to be room temperature.
I have a winner.
Awesome.
I have a winner as well.
You do. That's awesome as well. I do as well. I just want to make another comment on too that it does seem sweeter to me than one, which I do like sweetness. But we'll see how that which one I pick. I guess
They're both good bourbons.
they are. Yeah. So Josh, you brought them. If you want to start the pick breakdown.
Yeah, they're really good. But I think we kind of said it right away. For me, it was number 1. Complex. I wrote down dark, sweet, good, smooth.
Right.
So really like number 1.
I have one too. I picked one.
1, 2, meaning
No,
one.
one.
Both of
Number
them.
one.
You want both
One.
of them, don't you?
Yeah. One also. One also.
I agree with both of you. I think one, just the sweetness is there, and you all know that I love the sweetness, but I also really like complexity as well, and some just
Yeah.
little change in it. That's a delicious bourbon, and especially, I mean, for it to beat the New Riff.
I hope we can buy this at the store.
Yeah,
I hope this
it-
isn't like a Hawaii thing that I can't get anywhere.
Yeah,
The Hawaiian one's out here.
the
already, so
Hawaiian's out here, so
I think we're in the clear.
we hopefully we can get a hold of this.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I
All
like it a
right,
lot.
let's give our cheer for bottle 1. All right. Bottle number 1 is the Oregon Spirits Bottled in Bond. So,
And you could find that anywhere.
yeah.
Yep.
I actually have one as well.
And I've never had this, so this is exciting for me to be able to try it. And like this is a bottle that I've had on the shelf for a couple years.
Score.
Yeah.
Because
That's-
not only did you were gifted the bottle,
Right.
so it's free, you can now get it anywhere. I mean,
Right.
I don't know about anywhere, but definitely you can go to Total Wine and find that right now.
And then bottle 2, that's gifted to you from
My uncle, yeah.
your uncle from the Nice Ash Cigar Bar. So that's Woodford Reserve. So not only did it beat New Riff, which is awesome, but Woodford Reserve is probably my number 2 go-to after like a Four Roses single barrel.
Right.
Because it's just always consistently good and it's
Right.
fantastic.
Yeah, can't go wrong.
I think the cool thing about the Woodford is really establishes that you don't need to spend a lot of money on bourbon in order to have a good bourbon.
Right.
I don't know what that bottle is today, but I mean,
I was at Woodford this summer, and besides a double oak, they have a weeded version. They tweak things a little bit, but they're not doing a ton of 15 different things. I mean, have you ever seen an aged Woodford Reserve? Like it's 10-year, nothing, right?
No.
So I have a weeded one. I think I have a malted one too. But other than, and then double oak, which if you haven't had a double oak Woodford Reserve, you're missing something. It's fantastic.
Is it? I have one unopened downstairs. I've never tried.
Oh, it's really
Really?
That's a shame. Obviously,
Yeah.
since hearing you say that.
Wow, yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, it's fantastic. Yeah, you're right. And they're just making good bourbon. They're just making good bourbon. Nothing you can say.
That is fantastic. What a revelation to be able to. Because have you tried that before then,
Yeah.
Dan?
I actually, believe it or not, before I came over here, my son came over to help me with a project. and I gave him a half of a bottle because I just picked up another one
Of this.
of this. So I was like, here, have my half one so you can take this home. It's good, you'll like it. And so,
What are the odds?
No
yeah,
kidding.
I just gave away a half a bottle to my son.
Aged 4 years. Bottle and Bond. Oregon Spirit Distillery. Yeah, Bottle and Bond must be distilled at one distillery from beginning to end under the supervision of one master distiller. It must be 4 years and bottled at honor proof. We are certain you will enjoy this rare premium spirit, which highlights the quality of our ingredients and the skill of our distiller. I would say yes, we have enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm going to give one last cheers and congratulations to Bottle 1
Awesome.
and the end of our episode 6. Way to go. Congratulations, guys.
Thanks, Josh, for bringing the bourbons.
Well, thank you to my friends and family that have been so generously gifting this. So.
Well said. So thank you for joining us. This is the end. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next episode.